In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a reusable date picker component. Now, I have one date picker in my scene here, and it's an instance of this date picker component. Now, I have it hidden over here by default. I got the opacity set to 0, so that way I can choose to hide it and show it from within my scene. And here's how it works. When I click on this box right here that says select, it will bring up my date picker, and I can navigate left and right to the next and previous months and notice how my month is being generated. So I can make any month that I want based on the month and year that have been supplied to the component. And I can pick a particular date. And if I need to pick a date that's far in the future or the past, I have this handy quick selection UI. And right now I can select a date all the way from 1900 all the way to the year 2100, and let's say I need to pick a date from 1930, right? So let's pick 1930, click on done, and I need, I don't know, March 4th, 1930. And that's how my date picker is going to work. Now, because this is a component that can be reused for a number of use cases, I'm going to show you how you can make it so that way it's a little bit configurable. So if we take a look at our component here, if I click it in the layers list over here, I've got a few overrides I can set. Number one is the accent color. So it's set by default to this purple color, but let's say I want to change it to something like, I don't know, maybe this kind of teal color right here. So let's pick that. Now when I preview this, we're going to see that now my arrows here are that teal color. My selection color is that teal color. And if I bring up the quick selection UI, my buttons are that teal color. Another thing here I can configure is the date range. So when I preview this and I bring up the quick selection, notice how I can go all the way to 1900 and all the way down here to 2100. I can limit this to any range that I want. So let's say I don't need this 200-year range, but instead I need from the year 2000 to say 2040. I can just set it here. And now when I preview this and I bring up the quick selection UI, it goes only to 2000 and 2040. Lastly, I'll be able to configure the date picker ID, and I'm going to gloss over this for now, but this is going to become clear as we go through our build. But the purpose of this is for when we have more than one date picker in the same scene. We need to give each of them a unique ID so that way they don't conflict with each other. And we're going to see how that works a little bit later. I'm going to close this and I'm going to start a new Pi. So just click on new Pi, and the default iPhone 13 is fine for our needs. Let's now take a look at our starting design file. You'll find the link for this Figma file in the tutorial notes, and you'll also need this font here, Inter. It's a free font available from Google Fonts, and you'll find the link for that also in the tutorial notes, and just download the whole family and install it on your system. Our design here has two layouts that we are going to be importing from. So the first one is this calendar view, and the second one is the quick selection view. We also have a few artboards over here that we're going to be using for reference, and we have this handy flowchart here that's going to tell us how to detect if a particular year is a leap year, and we're going to be using this to figure out if we render 28 or 29 days for February. In order to work with this, you're going to need your own editable copy. Please don't click on Ask to Edit. I am not going to grant you edit access to my own copy of this. Instead, what I want you to do is click on this down arrow between the title and the Ask to Edit button and choose Duplicate to your drafts. This will make your own copy. You can mess around with this any way you like because this is your own copy. Secondly, we need to make sure we have the ProtoPie plugin installed. So just right-click anywhere on the background here, go to Plugins, Manage Plugins, and search for ProtoPie. And then when you see it, just hover over it and click on Run. And we should now have this floating box. So let's do our first import. We are going to import this first artboard here, this one called Calendar View. I'm going to export this. And here we go. Now it is in ProtoPie. I want this calendar to be a component. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into a component. Click on the date picker group here, over here in the layers list, right click, create component. Okay, and if you don't have the components drawer open, you'll see I have mine open by default, but if you don't, yours looks like this. You can open the components drawer with this little icon that looks like two books with a tiny lightning bolt beside it. Click on that to open up the components drawer, and you'll find the date picker component. Double click that, and we can now edit. Right now I have this white on white and it makes it difficult to see the extents of my component, so I'm going to change the background to something a bit darker, and that makes it nicer. Our month is going to be made up of a list of days. So, you can see here we've got days 1 to 31 starting on the Monday of the month. All of these days are going to be doing more or less the same thing. Now, we've got 3 variations of it. We've got the Monday to Friday view, which is in this dark gray. We've got the weekend view, which is in this muted gray. And then we've got the selected state, which is, it has a background color and the bold white text over top. All of these are going to be doing more or less the same thing, where they're going to be a date that I can select. So when you've got multiple things doing the same thing, that's a pretty good indication that you need to make a component. So let's do that. I'm going to expand here. I'm going to go to days. Scroll down here to this day 1 and a right click, create component. Now this made a component over here called day 1. I'm going to rename this, call it calendar day. And I'm going to change the name of this back to day 1. The next thing I'll need to do is duplicate this component out for every day that I'm going to need for a given month. Now any month has no more than 31 days. So you could think that I just need no more than 31 of these, and then depending on the day of the week the month starts at, I can put the first one there and shuffle the rest of these around accordingly. That to me sounds like a lot of work, and I don't really want to do it that way. So the way I'm going to have you set this up, if we take a look over at our first helper layout we have over here, this is our skeleton. So notice how we've got our header up here, and then I've got these numbered. 0, and I'm going to explain in a moment why I'm starting from 0 and not from 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 36. And the reason why I've done this is a month can start on any day of the week. So if the month starts on a Sunday, then I can start counting from there. And if it's a day that's got 31 days, then I can just count out 31, which is going to take me to this Tuesday down here, currently numbered 30. If the day starts on the Saturday, I'm going to need at most 31, and that's going to take me down to 36. And you can see here how this is going to work. This is a 31-day month that starts on a Saturday. So I have 31 of these day components, and I've numbered them 1 through 31. These ones up here are still there, but they are hidden. And you can even see in my framework over here, if I spin this down and we take a look at the days, you're going to see I've got these ones hidden up here. So the way that I'm hiding them here is a similar approach that I'm going to take inside ProtoPie. And if we take a look at our example down here for April 2024 starts on a Monday. So this first Sunday is hidden. Let's spin that down. And we can see right there. So we've got, nope, that's not the right one. It should be the one. They're both named March. That's fine. So we've got the Sunday here is hidden. Then we've got 30 days taking us to this Tuesday here. And all of these other ones are also hidden. We're going to want to do the same thing. So I'm going to lay out my skeleton to have 37 of these components. Now, I mentioned before that we're starting our numbering from 0 and not 1, and there's a very good reason for this. We're going to be making use of ProtoPie's built-in date functions, and one of the functions is going to give us the starting day of the week, and that's going to give us a number between 0 and 6. 0 if the month starts on a Sunday, 6 if it starts on a Saturday, and if it starts on a Wednesday, it's going to be 3. So by starting with these items numbered from 0, that makes it really easy to just say, okay, well, if it starts on a Sunday, Sunday is day 0, so start on 0. If it starts on a Thursday, Thursday is day 4, start it here. Starts on a Saturday, Saturday is day 6, start it here. So that's just going to make our math a little bit easier. Let's go back over to ProtoPie and start building this out. Now, I don't need all of these other day components. So I'm just going to delete them. And we're going to be making copies of this one. And I'm going to start by option dragging. This is going to be my day 0. ProtoPie is going to automatically number it day 2, but I'm going to change that to day 0. And I like to have things ordered. So I'm just going to put the day 0 on the bottom here. Now I'm going to option drag this one to make the next one. So I'm going to hold down option and shift to make sure that I can constrain that it's only going horizontally. Now here's a neat trick. If I press Command D to duplicate, it will duplicate across in this row. Now if I duplicate it one more time, obviously it's going to take me off the screen, which is not what I want. So I'm going to option drag this one and put it under here, and I'm going to have it snap to underneath this one. That's my day 7. And if I try to duplicate this one, it's going to put it in place. So not exactly what I want. I need to Option Shift drag this one, and then I can just duplicate these out. Option drag this one, have it snap down here. Option drag this one, have it snap there, and then Command D. And then if I just quickly go back here, I just need 2 more to take me to the Monday of the bottom row. So I'm going to Option drag this one and Option drag this one. And there we go. Now I have the skeleton laid out for my component. The last thing I want to do before I start getting into the month generation is I don't like the way these components are named. I don't have a problem with calendar day and date picker, but I would like to create a relationship between these two components. The date picker, that's the main UI of my component. This calendar day is a dependency for this component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename these. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to change this to date picker /UI. And notice how now that's making a grouping called date picker, and I have this one called UI inside there. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to make this date picker /dependencies /calendar day. So there we go. Now I've got these 2 components in 2 separate groups, but this one is kind of a subset of this one. And this is useful. If this component had many dependencies, I don't want to clutter this one up here with all of the various dependencies in there. I would like to keep them in their own thing in here. So that way, when I'm using this component, I'm just going to refer to this one and drag it into my scene. And if I need to modify my component, then I can go here and access these as needed.